Today, we are diving into the most complicated, most fascinating object in the entire known universe, your brain. And we're going to explore a truly mind-blowing idea about how it works, not as some passive camera recording the world, but as its active creator.
Okay, so let's just jump right in with a question that sounds simple, but is anything but. When you look around you right now, are you seeing reality? I mean, reality as it actually is? Or is something else entirely going on?
For example, take a look at the inside of a hollow mask. You can see with your own eyes that it's concave, it's hollowed out. But your brain will almost certainly force you to see a normal face sticking out. Why? Well, it's because your brain has a super strong prediction, a rule it learned from seeing thousands of faces. Faces stick out. And that prediction is so powerful, it literally overrides the raw data your eyes are sending it.
And that leads to this wild idea. The world you're experiencing in this very moment, all the sights, the sounds, the feelings, it's not a live feed of reality. It is, in a very real sense, a controlled hallucination, a story your brain is constantly telling itself about the world.
Now, this isn't some sci-fi movie plot. This is the core of a leading theory in neuroscience. Your brain is a prediction machine. It's not just sitting back, waiting for information to pour in. No, it's constantly making guesses, predictions about what's out there based on everything you've ever experienced. And then it just uses your senses to check its work. What you perceive as reality is just your brain's best guess in that moment.
So, if the brain is a prediction machine, what's it running on? Let's pop the hood and take a look at the actual hardware that makes these incredible calculations possible.
It all starts with a number that is just hard to wrap your head around. 86 billion. That's how many neurons, or nerve cells, are packed into your skull. That's more than 10 times the number of people on planet Earth. Each one of those is a tiny little processor, and together they create the raw computing power for everything you do. Now, these billions of neurons are organized into three main players. You've got the cerebrum, that big, wrinkly outer part. That's the CEO, in charge of all your high-level thinking and senses. Tucked away at the back is the cerebellum, the master of coordination and balance. And connecting it all to the body is the brainstem, which just quietly runs all the automatic background programs, like breathing and keeping your heart beating.
And all of this is built from two main types of stuff. The easiest way to think about it is this. The gray matter is like all the individual computers, the processors doing the actual work. The white matter, then, is all the Ethernet cables and fiber optics connecting them all together, transmitting signals at incredible speeds. You absolutely need both to build a network this powerful.
Okay, so we've got the hardware. But a computer is pretty useless without software, right? Well, this is where it gets really cool. The brain's software literally rewrites itself every single day. The secret sauce here is a concept called synaptic plasticity. It sounds complicated, but the idea is actually super simple. The connections between your neurons, those are called synapses, they aren't set in stone. They can get stronger or weaker depending on how much you use them. It's kind of like walking through a forest. The more you use a certain path, the wider, clearer, and faster that path becomes.
And this, right here, is the very essence of learning and memory. Every time you learn something new, whether it's a new word, how to ride a bike, or just recognizing a friend's face, you are physically, literally, changing the wiring of your brain. Every single experience you have is constantly updating those predictive models your brain uses to navigate the world.
So what's actually happening down at that microscopic level? Well, when two neurons fire together over and over, it kicks off a chain reaction. A bunch of calcium rushes in, which tells the receiving neuron to basically install more antennas. This makes the whole connection more sensitive, more efficient. It's that classic saying, neurons that fire together, wire together, in action. It's making that forest path a superhighway. So, we have the hardware, all the neurons. We have the software that writes itself, synaptic plasticity. Now let's put it all together and see how it creates the final product, your conscious experience. This is the operating system in action.
And this brings us to what's often called the hard problem of consciousness. It's one of the biggest mysteries in all of science. We can track all the electrical signals, all the chemical reactions, but how does a bunch of electrical zaps become the feeling of happiness, the experience of seeing the color blue, the awareness that you are you?
Now, we don't have the full answer yet, but what we do know is that consciousness isn't hiding in one little spot in the brain. Instead, your brain is like a master orchestra conductor. It's taking information from all these different specialized sections, your attention network, your memory banks, your emotional centers, and it's weaving it all together into one single, seamless, unified stream of reality.
And so here we are, full circle. This conscious experience you're having right now, that's the ultimate output of your prediction machine. It's not raw, unfiltered reality. It's a high-definition, constantly updated simulation of the world, built from all your past experiences and tailor-made just for you to help you survive and thrive.
But running this incredible supercomputer all day, well, it gets messy. It creates a lot of junk, a lot of metabolic waste. And just like any high-performance machine, it needs regular maintenance to keep from breaking down. And that's where sleep comes in.
This crucial maintenance job is handled by something called the glymphatic system. You can basically think of it as the brain's personal sanitation department. It's a brilliant plumbing system that uses a special fluid to literally power wash the toxic gunk that builds up between your brain cells all day long.
And get this, to do the cleaning, your brain physically changes shape while you sleep. When you're awake, your brain cells are all packed in tight. But when you fall into deep sleep, the space between your cells actually expands by an incredible 60%. This opens up the floodgates, allowing that cleaning fluid to rush through and carry away all the waste.
And we're not just talking about sweeping up dust bunnies here. This nightly deep clean removes some really nasty stuff, most famously a protein called beta amyloid. If that name sounds familiar, it's because it's the protein that builds up to form those sticky plaques in the brains of people with Alzheimer's disease. This makes getting quality sleep a non-negotiable part of your long-term brain health.
So let's just quickly put all the pieces together. Your brain isn't just seeing reality, it's actively predicting it. This incredible ability is built on the physical hardware of 86 billion neurons. That hardware runs a learning software called synaptic plasticity, which constantly rewires itself based on your experiences. And finally, sleep isn't just rest, it's the essential maintenance that cleans out the whole system so it's ready for the next day. And that leaves us with one last, pretty profound thought. If every one of your experiences physically rewires your brain, and that wiring builds your reality, that means you have a direct hand in shaping the world you experience. You are the architect. Every new thing you learn, every skill you practice, it's a new blueprint. So the question is, what are you going to teach it to build next?